morning to Madam Vimala. My name is Joharin Jasmine. So today our group will present about development of media, politics and propaganda. So media, politics and propaganda is a main factor to governing a country. Media is communication tools to manipulate people's mind used by politicians. This report will start with definition of media, politics and propaganda, explain on how media, politics and propaganda develop, and the last part of this report will be explaining about practices of media, politics and propaganda in media politics perspective.
Hi, my name is Nikmurul Nuha binti Nik Ramli and my metric number is 70750, and today I would like about the what media is and the development of media. Firstly, the media are the communications outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data. The term refers to components of the mass media communication industry such as print media, publishing, the news media, photography, cinema, broadcasting and advertising. The media in Malaysia includes television, radio, newspaper and web-based media such as bloggers. Malaysia boasts plenty of newspapers, TV channels and radio stations serving up lively reportage of events, sports and entertainment. Thus, don't expect to come across hard-hitting or healthily skeptical coverage of domestic politics. The major media organizations are at least partly owned by the government. As example, we can see that many media outlets are either owned directly by the government of Malaysia bernama or owned by component parties of the Barisan Nasional coalition which formed the government until May 2018, the media group, which is owned by the United Malays National Organization. As we can see, media remains as the various ways through which we communicate in a society because it refers to all means of communication, everything ranging from a telephone call to the evening news on television can be called media. Next I will talk about the development of media. The role of mass media for development in developing countries has attracted a lot of attention from scholars, politicians, international and national agencies, and communication practitioners. Media helps the people to be aware about and develops a consensus upon important national and international development issues. It also helps them understand the various obstacles and international development issues. It also helps them understand the imbibing basic skills among the people. Mass media also plays an important role in this. In fact, media inform that can educate and can entertain people. They also influence the way people look at the world and make them change their views. Mass media plays a very important role in organizing public opinion. Millions of people watch TV and read newspaper in free time. The media can be a powerful force for change in both developed and developing countries. In developing countries, it can have important role in advancing a pro-development agenda. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I am Nurfaika binti Abdul Rahim Elias Helmi, metric number 71095.
Media, politics and propaganda. Right now, I will explain about politics. Politics exists in every government around the world. Politics is a system that keeps a government strong. Politics can be divided into three main concepts, which are democracy, dictatorship, and communism. Malaysia practices a political democracy, and it requires three fundamental in its system, which are political equality, social norms, and authority. Alright. Political equality is where citizens has the right to choose their leader to lead their country and to vote someone who satisfies their qualification. This is really different from other countries that practices dictatorship. A dictatorship country is a form of government in which one person or small group that rule a country and they can do what they want. The party has absolute power over their citizens. For an example, Germany that ruled by Nazi party and the dictator in this party is Hitler. They approved to include the power of military in their administration to force their citizens or people to support them.
Definition of propaganda. Propaganda comes from Latin word called congregatio de propaganda fide. Propaganda using facts, arguments, rumors, or even lies to influence public opinion. Propaganda mostly used by government or political party to achieve their goal by manipulate and change the way audience think into their own perspective. In 1941, Japan succeeded to colonize Malayaland using propaganda that called Asia for Asians. Japanese spreading their propaganda through newspaper, the Shonen Times. Development of propaganda. In ancient Greek, they are using theater and write a book as a way to spread propaganda. In World War II, propaganda is a psychological war between every nation to show their power and was spread through news, radio, and poster that manipulate people's mind. 7 techniques of propaganda, which is name-calling, glittering generalities, transfer, testimonial, plain folk, cut-staking, and bandwagon. There are 7 techniques of propaganda. First, name-calling. Name-calling technique is technique that giving a bad name to the person, group, or political party. For example, Tun Mahathir give a name-calling to Najib Razak. Tun called Najib Razak as a thief, and then people start to call Najib Razak as a thief. 2. Glittering generalities. This technique is using an attractive words or slogan to attract people's mind and emotion. Contain a positive aspect such as peace, freedom, and love. This is because people tend to give a positive reaction when propagandists use unimpressive ideas. For example, slogan Make America Great Again by Donald Trump that helped him becoming President of United States of America. 3. Transfer. This technique is an attempt to gain your trust by something that you believe and respect to something that propagandists want you to follow according to their perspective. 4. Testimonial. Technique that effective to influence an audience because it using celebrities or famous person to test and show to public an ideas of propaganda. 5. Plain folk. Technique usually used by politicians by portraying themselves as someone that have same point of view with audience. Propagandists portray themselves as a normal people that understand how normal people live. 6. Cut picking. Propagandists that use certain fact and info to support their ideas. This technique easily can manipulate audience that lack of basic knowledge and not updated with current issue. And 7. Bandwagon. Simple technique by telling people that everyone using same ideology by propagandists that influence certain people to follow the propaganda. For example, slogan Pepsi is the choice of generation means Pepsi is the choice from old to young age. So certain people will choose Pepsi because of majority of people drink Pepsi. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Hani Karina Anamika. We present Part C, Development of Media, Politic and Propaganda in Media Politic Perspective. In the perspective of media politic is mass media, which is often used media politic. The mass media is a strategic choice because it is an important tool for disseminating information through its wide reach and gaining public trust in the political media. It also means technology that is intended to reach a mass audience. It is the primary means of communication used to reach the vast majority of the general public. The general public typically relies on the mass media to provide information regarding political issues, social issues, entertainment, and news in pop culture. In the perspective of media politic, relationship between mass media with politics system depending on political culture include ideology and political communication. The mass media is also one of the agents to the process of political socialization because mass media often displays current issues. Therefore, readers and listeners will always observe and follow the development of current issues as well as certain existing political values. The perspective of political media is basically propaganda is a deliberate and systematic effort by utilizing our communication media to influence the public to react in accordance with the propagandist wishes. Some of the most obvious propaganda is seen through the mass media, such as advertisement on television, newspaper, or social media applications. Obviously, we can see how propaganda happens is through social media as an effective propaganda weapon to the people. For example, we can see in the general election GE14, Malaysia are getting closer. There are political leaders have begun not to sit still. Each of them has set a strategy to win over voters. Face-to-face communication is becoming more frequent. This can be seen through various field trips to listen and overcome the problem of the people. But in the same times, there was prolonged propaganda to the spread of slander, fake news, and various other bad things that largely greatly affect the voters. That's why social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are quite popular platforms that are most often used by armies of political propaganda regardless of times. It is clear that media development, politics, and propaganda are often used in the perspective of political media. Thank you. In conclusion, media, politics, and propaganda is a term that cannot be separated. It always comes in one. Political propaganda was spread in media without limitation because it is hard to stop anyone from posting or spreading their point of view.